What's up, guys and gals? It's Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for 7 Deadly Sins, Chapter 339. Let's get underway with this one because outside of the ranting that I did, I just want to make a quick note of that. If you guys didn't catch it, I did a live stream when this chapter was released, a little earlier than a lot of us expected. When it was released yesterday, I did a live stream. It ended up being over 2 hours, actually. It wasn't all about this chapter, but it was about the series as a whole and stuff like that. So if you want to see me rant and go on and forth about all the issues and inconsistencies with this chapter and the treatment of Cath as a villain, a character, blah, 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 all that stuff, you're going to have to go check out that live stream because that was the sole purpose. Because I went on big, long, 20-minute rants, and I wanted this video, my review, to be the usual 15, 20-minute review. I didn't want to have this big, long, 35-minute review where I ranted about the series or ranted about just one panel and its dialogue for, 10 minutes at a time, right? So I wanted to get that off my chest, but still, I thought it was pretty good. It got some good reception, so please go check that out if you haven't already and you want to see my in-depth feelings on this chapter, because we're going to skim it very brief. Because outside of me literally doing those rants, what happened in this chapter? In all honesty, what happened? New villain, villain destroyed, Arthur did it, end of chapter. That's what happened. Hey, we got a new villain. Nope, dead. That's what this chapter, that's what happened. So, there's not really a whole lot to go off of other than the rants and the tangents about the treatment of Cath as a villain, as a character, the foreshadowing leading up, because most of us, as I mentioned in my live stream, Sundown Rider, Keishan Prime, myself, I'm sure quite a few others, I'm pretty sure Naya knew about it, Grim Reaper, is that Cath as a cat was the whole thing was Cath Pelag. We all figured that there would be some connection, whether villain or foe. That was the beast that fought either Arthur's brother or Arthur himself in mythology, in the legends, right? Sometimes it kills Arthur, sometimes it doesn't even fight Arthur, sometimes Arthur kills it. So we were all anticipating that. But honestly, here, there was some inconsistencies. So, as I said, I'm still ticked about the whole eating, like, an arm off of Arthur thing. But this chapter opens up with him laying on the ground, bleeding, everyone being, Arthur, what's going on and stuff. The Lady of the Lake is trying to explain away why Cath is Cath this whole time. We don't really know what Cath is supposed to be. Apparently, it's a reincarnation born of chaos. It's some type of reincarnation. Reincarnation implying there was something else there. Like, I guess, the essence of greed and obsession for power itself in the universe. Not really sure about this, but from what I read, that's what this was, and it was reincarnated into some physical form, and that was Cath. Some obsession for power, born of chaoses, maybe get chaos's own desires. It's very ambiguous. It's an explanation, but it's an ambiguous explanation, or it's confusing as far as I was concerned. That's what Cath is. And Cath wanted to become the King of Chaos, never could, I guess was banished by Chaos, apparently not very well, because then the Goddess Clan, it still went up to misdeeds. And somehow the Goddess Clan sealed it with no problem and no setback as far as we're aware. Because last time they had to seal away something powerful like the Demon King and the Ten Commandments, the entire race had to give up their physical form. But apparently they all had their physical form in time to do that to the demon race, so I guess this thing wasn't very strong, or, like, once again, see, this is the information either left out or not, but just not caring thing. But it ate Arthur's arm, and it actually gained, like, it looks like a beast now. And the premise here is that Cath was following Arthur around knowing, and here's another thing, I don't know if I brought it up in the live stream, knowing apparently, like everyone else, that when Arthur awakened, he became the King of Chaos, that Merlin was aiming for, and that, Cath apparently was waiting for him, Lady of the Lake was waiting for, Arthur Pendragon was going to wake up as the King of Chaos. Okay, alright, why Arthur, again? Like, let's just mull this over for a second. Why Arthur? Like, don't get me wrong, I like Arthur, and the name means something, but literally Nakaba has yet to actually tell us a prophecy or good explanation as to why it couldn't be Bartra, for example, or Margaret, or Gilthunder, or any of the other humans of royal blood, or not Gilthunder necessarily, but any of the other kingdoms and humans of royal blood. Like, you could go on the royal blood thing, but there is no, as far as I'm aware, once again, I have been wrong about this before, but my passion for Taizai has led me to forget small details. So if this was explained, I apologize. But how did Cath know Arthur was meant to be the vessel for the chaos in the first place? How did Merlin figure this? I thought that Merlin simply selected Arthur because Infinity hacks Merlin. But how did Cath know? How did anybody know? Excalibur might be a key to him being the king of Camelot, the whole sword and the stone thing, sure. But it feels like here that there has been no prophecy. There's no Harry Potter prophecy yet told in the story that it's got to be Arthur. You know, it can't be anybody else. Like, why couldn't it be Bartra? You know, I'm just throwing another human of royal blood out there. Like, why not? Why specifically Arthur? Was it because the Lady of the Lake chose Arthur? And if so, when were we told this? And if the Lady of the Lake and Merlin figured this out, how would their enemy, Cath, know that that was their intention? And if Cath knew this was their intention for Arthur, and does Arthur have something inside him? Is it something that people sense? And for somehow Merlin, the Lady of the Lake, and Cath could sense it, but it was never brought up and nobody else sensed this oddity in Arthur's magical power? Some type of, like even Cusack sensed something off about Estarossa, foreshadowing and featuring Estarossa here, Cusack sensed something about Estarossa just being odd, being off, and we always got that vibe from him. That made sense, and that was great small-time foreshadowing to build up to the fact of the big reveal. In this case, I don't recall anything, and if Cath is this evil thing that basically became, it was like, Cath, what's going to happen? And Nanashi, apparently totally 180 wrong about the cat somehow. Nanashi, where's Nanashi? And I don't really know what's going on here. Like, that's something I don't think I brought up in the live stream, but I'm curious. Leave it in the comment section down below. Why is it Arthur, and how did Cath, Merlin, and the Lady of the Lake know it? Everybody seemed to know it, and nobody else knew it, you know? You could argue that they were the only ones who knew about the existence of chaos, but why Arthur and Excalibur? Why, like, where's the prophecy? I just wanted to see that Harry Potter level prophecy written in stone, you know, with some, like, rhymes, some Da Vinci Code poems, just so I can go, okay, it all connects back and makes sense, but we're not even getting that. Is it Nakaba is lazy, or am I totally forgetting that there was a prophecy and stuff? I could be forgetting that, and I could sound like a total idiot here for the last 5 minutes. Sorry. But either way, yeah, pretty much, that's, see, there's not really much to talk about. Cath became the beast, became one-dimensional, all the foreshadowing, all the build-up. It's similar to the Sinner demon that I brought up in the live stream. It's similar to the Sinner. We knew Cath was going to be a little, probably end up being a bad guy, because if we go along the line of this, the beast is supposed to kill Arthur. We were waiting for that potential, Arthur to wake up, maybe Cath would be the final villain, maybe Mama Hawk would be involved. There's a lot of things there. It's from Purgatory. Wild and Mama Hawk seemed to be from Purgatory. So it was one of those things where it could all connect back well in some way, and it just didn't seem to. And then he was reduced to being Gluttony from Full Metal Alchemist, or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, as Nux Talker would say. And that's basically what it became. Like, oh, are you food? Are you sustenance? I'm a Toriko reject villain, and I just wanted to eat you, and we were never friends, and I never cared about you. And Nanashi's foreshadowing was wrong and went nowhere, and nobody noticed that I came out of the Druid Cave. Nobody cared what I was or who I was. And nobody seemed to blink an eye about that. As overprotective as Merlin is, nobody seemed to care about Cath and Cath's intentions. So, I guess, whatever. Either way, ate the arm, became this beast. They tried to explain it away. It's kind of inconsistent, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then, after basically using some vague reality warping stuff, and we see from the outside, it's kind of this black hole thing, sucks all the 7 deadly sins in, or the 6 deadly sins in, and plus Arthur, and Elizabeth, they're trying to attack it. They can't figure it out, so it's sort of reality warping here. The Lady of the Lake's like, what's going on? This is bad, sort of idea. Arthur simply asks, like, are you sure? Like, basically twice. It's a repeat of the scene, just done twice. It's like, Cath, aren't we friends? Aren't we Nakama? Or something like that. Or like, what am I to you? Like, just food, just sustenance. And then he kind of asks it again. Like, Cath, what are you doing? Like, I thought we were friends. Like, no, you were always just food to me. Food. You taste delicious now that you've awoken. I couldn't eat you before. Now I can eat you. And that was pretty much his whole thing. And Arthur was just like, okay, well, I'm going to summon a sword that's not Excalibur. It looks kind of cool, like made up of angel wings and demon wings at the same time. Kind of cool look there. Basically grabs it, creates this sword, and there's some prophecy thing going on, I guess, describing the sword that became the key that is finished but not finished, or something like that. And basically, shing, 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 pulls a Cusack on Chandler thing, cuts him up into tiny bits, blows him apart, breaks the reality black hole bubble, and then that's a little too much for Arthur. That at least makes sense, that Arthur, being able to utilize the power of chaos by focusing it, kills Cath, so Cath became a villain and was one-shotted in the same chapter. Very disappointing, very lackluster, especially for a beast from, once again, Nakaba has been riding off the Arthurian and Britannia legends and myths for a long time in his story. It'd be like if they introduced Gawain and the Black Knight or the Green Knight all of a sudden, and the Green Knight was one-shotted, or the Black Knight, usually to make it sound more badass, the Black Knight ended up being a one-shot, no-note villain. That would piss off a lot of fans, right? So it's the same idea here. Cath was hyped up, foreshadowed, is in the Arthurian legend, was the main beast, and it's one-shotted. So very disappointing there. But Arthur being taxed after using his power makes a lot of sense. And then, pretty much after that, falls down. Merlin catches him, basically like, oh, Arthur, are you, like, I will always protect you sort of idea, being the overprotective mother figure once again. I don't know what she intends to get out of this. How is this going to satiate her heart? The fact that Meliodas didn't love her, somehow this is going to satiate her heart. I don't really get it. I know some people disagree with me on some of these points, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense given the fact that, like, I don't know what she intends from this being. Meliodas said it best. Last chapter or the chapter before basically said, your whole intention for 3,000 years was to wake up a creator god of creator gods that you have no idea, no context to understand what it is, what it can do, and what its own will or intentions are. And you think that somehow this thing, this god, will somehow make everything all right for you? Like, what's your intention? To wipe your memory? Why don't you just get Gother to do it? Or something like that. And if that's the case, and if they want to go off on the fact that, like, no, you can't erase memories like that whole line with Deanne and King and stuff and Gother, that whole trifecta there, that, no, memories etched in the heart will always remain, and Merlin somehow knew this, then why does she think, okay, Gother can't do it, but a god will be able to do it? It's more permanent if a god does it. Well, that would totally overwrite and undermine the whole message that if you actually love someone and you hold someone dear, which is what the series is about. The series has a lot of running themes, and love is a main one of them. Love and the power of friendship in the heart sort of idea, not in a cheesy way, but done in a very nice way. Companions of different races and stuff. We can get beyond our differences. We can truly become a family. No matter what happens, they can't take that away from us sort of message would be totally undermined if Merlin believed that Gother couldn't do it because of this reason, but the Chaos God did and attempts to do this. I don't know. I don't know what the intention is. This is just my own speculation. I have no idea. Anyway, kind of does a bam, instant transmissions them out of there saying this isn't your problem, this isn't your fight. Gets rid of everybody else in the vicinity and transports them away. So by the looks of it, it's just Arthur, the Lady of the Lake, and Merlin, and Arthur's comatose. End of the chapter. At this point, yeah, I don't know what to think of the series. I think I have to champion it till the very end. I would feel like it was incomplete if I didn't. But yeah, I just am I missing any key points in this chapter? By the way, I felt the chapter art was very badly done. Oh, and the Q&A. The Q&A, as far as I'm aware, currently right now is not translated. But Viv Have, who does the One Punch Man with HDX or whatever for the One Punch Man translations that we all know and love, Viv is part of my Discord and also was kind enough to attempt a quick translation of the Q&A. It was apparently about Bloody Ellie. Translation was rough, and I talk about it in a live stream. You can go check that out. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. Apparently, it was like, how did she get that title and stuff? Apparently, she either killed her by trying to protect everyone, she killed her own comrades, or she ended up killing a bunch of demons as a result of trying to protect her comrades, and she got her name based on that. But then, Meliodas wouldn't be... I already go into it in the live stream, so go check that out. Maybe we'll get a better, more clean translation later on, and I can discuss it. But from what I understand, that's what it was, is that it was an immensely powerful name, title, and she kind of craved it at the time. It doesn't really make sense, but basically nothing that Nakaba has written since Chapter 300 has either been cookie cutter, retcon, inconsistent, or just hasn't really made much sense. Outside of Chapter 317, and of course the Escanor Death chapter. Probably one of the best chapters in recent years of Taizai, definitely. So, yeah, at this point, bring Escanor back. Let's just wait for that. But anyways, guys, what do you think of the chapter? What do you think of the review? Are you expecting anything from this anymore? Chapter 340 is going to show up. I don't really know the direction. They literally introduced a villain just to be one-shotted in the same chapter. Who's left? The Supreme Deity? I mean, I guess. The Sacred Tree, maybe? Chaos itself is going to turn on Earth? I don't know. Either way, what do you guys think is going to end up being the series? Is the series going to get axed at this point before a proper conclusion is made? That's a possibility that I'm going to bring up here. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Always appreciated. This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews for 7 Deadly Sins, Chapter 339. Drink responsibly, as always. And sorry for the skimmed over, sort of lackluster review. I wanted to do the review, but as I said, I think the live stream format for this one to get a lot about my dissatisfaction with Nakaba, the direction of the series, the inconsistencies, all that stuff. Getting all that off of my chest before doing the review was probably best for this video's sake and the quality and the time frame for this video. This video will only be about 15-20 minutes, which is what I'm, kind of shooting for. So, either way, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you enjoyed the live stream if you were there, and you can, of course, rewatch it on my channel. And I hope you enjoyed this video as well. As I already said, drink responsibly. See you back here next time.